So here we are. We are halfway through 2026, and it is time for your mid-year review.
Woo.
We're going to look at interest rates. We're going to look at home prices, home sales. We're going to project out the next 12 weeks. We're going to talk about everything that worked well in the first 6 months of the year, things we should be focused on the next 6 months. And at this standpoint, your focus should be on 2027 and beyond. Loan originators, real estate agents, honestly, anybody who's running a business, especially if that business touches mortgage or real estate, tune in, check this out, follow along at home, and take good notes. Let's go. They don't teach this shit in school, but they should. Welcome to the Loan Officer Podcast, hosted by me, Dustin Owen, one of the most influential people in the mortgage industry, along with my friends who've lived it, built it, failed at it, fixed it, and scaled it. This is not a show just for mortgage professionals. This is everything I learned because I became a mortgage loan originator. This is the Loan Officer Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children 18 plus, you are tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast with me, Dustin Owen, and with me from the TLOP team, I have my right-hand man, Marketing Mark.
Let's go.
Marketing Mike.
Yes. It's a tongue twister.
And the woman with the plan, our producer extraordinaire. We call her Special K. You can call her Karina Mojica.
You guys have too much fun with that.
Nailed it.
We do. We have really. Look, Karina, it might not be this TLOP Unite Caribbean Takeover event. It might not be this one. But I promise you, by the 2027 event, I'm going to want to get on the mic, and I'm going to want to say, I want to get on mic. hey, we're going to be lit AF. I'm getting up on mic.
Oh, my God.
I want to get up on the mic.
Yes.
And I want to be able to say to the crowd, like, Karina, and they all go,
Mojica.
Like,
would be
yeah.
so
The
That would be very
JC. Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be.
so we have to get you prepared and ready for that, because when that happens, I have to be able to throw it to you, and you're on the mic, and you have to say something profound to the audience.
Yikes.
Yeah, look, in this year's event, we only have room for like 150 originators or mortgage professionals.
Right.
I think we got like 15 cabins left.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But the goal is that this one knocks it out of the park.
Yes.
Is that this one creates so much FOMO that next year's event, twice the size.
Of course.
Twice the size, twice the number of cabins, twice the experience. But we have to make sure this one's badass first. That's why you need to make sure you're on this boat September 14th through 18th. If you're not, then look, deal with the FOMO. We're going to have fun with or without you, but you'd make more money in 2027 and beyond if you're on the boat. That's
100%.
my promise to you. My promise, if you come onto the boat, boat.
You're like
holy
me at last
cow.
episode. Yeah. Tongue twisters.
If you are anything like me and you come on this ship,
Yeah.
and you pour yourself into the event and into the networking and into the master classes and the breakout sessions, and you don't increase your business in 2027, I'm going to tell you, get your head checked.
Look, man, the event is free. You're paying for a cruise.
Ooh, I love that. Well, it depends on how you need to position it, because
Do it either way.
Well, like back in the day, I may have told my wife, hey, honey, I got to pay $650 to go with Mike to this mortgage event.
Right.
Oh, by the way, yeah, it happens to be on Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas.
Yep.
Right? Some people are going to justify it.
$650.
Yeah, they're going to justify it as, hey, I get to go to a free mortgage conference.
Right.
All I have to do is pay for the cruise.
Right.
So I guess depends on your family situation.
Right.
I felt like I could have sold my wife spending that money on a conference.
Yep.
If she heard cruise, she's like, you're just going to get drunk and gamble. I'm like, only one night.
Unless you bring your wife.
Well, you should.
You should.
Plenty of people are bringing their spouses. Right. So that's not why we're jumping on today's call, though. Right? We're not. Today's episode.
Oh, he's on one.
What a great! This is going to be a great episode.
Yeah, this is a
be a great
blooper
call.
episode.
Like you would have thought I hit the pipe or got on that booger sugar, but I do neither. It's just been a long day.
Right.
And I'm really looking forward to the time that by the time this drops, I'll already be there. I'll be on my horse,
right,
in Sunlight Basin, Wyoming. I'll be having a beer this afternoon, fly fishing before dinner because I'm going to my heaven. But we're recording this on the last week in June,
right
before I take 2 weeks off in July. Yeah. So nonetheless,
well earned, well deserved.
Yeah, whatever you say. Don't ask me to say it because I'm gonna flub it.
Yeah, I was gonna
right.
I'm gonna flub it. We promised the people doing we're gonna do a mid-year review.
Yep, I'm excited.
So we're gonna talk about the first 6 months. We're gonna talk about the next 6 months. I'm gonna make some bold predictions and projections on home values, home prices, home sales, and interest rates.
Cool.
But we're also gonna talk about what LOs should have been doing, or branch operators should have been doing, and more importantly, if they're not doing it now, they can start, so that 2027 is as successful as a year as they would like it to be. But per usual, we got some bills to pay, so we're going to take a quick pause. We're going to come back after hearing from today's show sponsor. Check this out. Y'all, something big is happening at Lower Mortgage. And if you're paying attention to this industry, you've probably noticed. In just the last month alone, Lower has added some serious horsepower. We're talking top producers representing over $350 million in volume. These aren't rookies kicking tires. These are heavy hitters who've done their homework and made the move. That should tell you something. On top of that, Lower just acquired Movoto, a top 5 real estate portal with over 150 visitors just last year. Before that, they brought in Neat Labs, and now they're launching Lower OS, a next-gen mortgage platform that's cutting loan delivery times down to 10 days. This isn't a company standing still. Lower doubled their volume last year, and they're projecting another 40 to 50% growth this year. The best in the business are taking notice, and they're voting with their feet. Here's the reality. The companies that are going to win in this market are the ones investing in technology, building real infrastructure, and competing at scale. Lower is doing all of that. They're going head to head with the Rockets of the world, and they're built for originators, not against them. If you're a producer who wants to be a part of something that's actually going somewhere, not just surviving, but growing, this is the moment. Lower Mortgage, the momentum is real. All right, so the show is mid-year review. And these are some of my favorite shows to do. We've been doing them for now 5-6 years. I like them because it's my way to be wrong, my way to be right, my way to be disagreed upon, but only time will tell.
Right.
The cool thing is, unlike everyone else who likes to have experiences and humble opinions, they don't record theirs. We record mine.
That's right.
So we can always go back to it and
if you're
see.
Right.
Well, I mean, no, look.
If you're right, I'm going to take the clip.
Oh, is
and
that
you'll
what it
be
is?
like Nostra Damus,
Nostra Dio. Nostra Dio.
And yeah.
Yeah, no, dude, I've been wrong almost as much as I've been right, but as long as I've been right more than I've been wrong,
51%.
Hey, yeah,
Ain't bad.
I'm doing pretty good.
Right.
I mean, as good as the weatherman.
Better odds than blackjack.
Better odds than blackjack. And way better odds than betting the yo on the craps table.
Right.
Which, by the way, if you want to see me bet the yo on the craps table,
Book
T-Live
your cruise.
Unite. T-Live Unite. Yes.
Book your cruise now.
Yeah, we should almost like run a promo, roll dice with Dio.
Yeah,
like
dice with Dio.
Dice with Dio. That'd be a cool breakout session.
Let's go.
All right, it'll be an impromptu one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but let's talk about the year that was, because here we are. It's we're 2 quarters down. We got 2 quarters to go. We're in July. And look, if you're living it, I ain't got to tell it to you. WTF. Holy shitballs. Did somebody absolutely rip the carpet from underneath our
What a weird
feet.
time. Yeah.
I mean, that somebody's like 2 dudes. 2 dudes decided to go
So
bomb another
weird
country.
time, dude.
That has a lot of oil,
Right.
and also impacts the shipping in a certain region that impacts the global economy and
The job market, like it just kind of everything.
Job market too, inflation too. Yeah, at the end of the day, look, here's the deal. We got really excited when we saw our rates sniff and touch 5s without points.
Yep.
We got some instant gratification, some instant volume. We were all anticipating it. We were talking about it crazily at the end of last year. Like, prepare. A lot of people have 7 and 8% rates. You're going to want to refinance down into 5s. A lot of people have record equity. They're going to need that equity to tap into it to pay off credit cards or to pay for upcoming medical expenses or college tuition. And look, that's still the case. I mean, look at what's going on in the home equity market. And the home equity companies are just crushing it right now.
Yeah.
We as originators are doing far less cash out refis than we could because rates are closer to 6.5 than they are 5.5. And we're doing way less rate and term refis because it was way easier to get someone that was at 7 to come down to 5.99 than it is from 7 down to 6.5. Mm-hmm. And this is the first lesson that we should all understand when it comes to the market. It is unpredictable.
Yeah.
Like any predictions are basically statistical probabilities with a large margin of error. And what we have is what we have, and we're not going to undo it. Like, we're not. The interest rates you see today, the interest rates your home buyers see today, the interest rates your borrowers see today, that will be the rates they see in December. That'll be the rates they see next July. Those are our rates. It is what it is.
Yeah, and which means, and then like, if people need to buy a home, they're still going to buy a home.
Yes.
As they were when the rates were 8% or 7.5%.
I entered this industry in 2004 when I got in the industry. An older gentleman that I respect and love greatly questioned whether or not it was the right time for me to get into the industry because I missed the refi boat. Mm-hmm. True story.
Yeah.
And I told that person, well, I'm not getting into this industry to do a bunch of refis. I'm getting into this industry to build relationships with referral sources, build out my personal brand, be my community go-to expert,
right,
source of information, and to help people purchase homes. And thank God I found a great mentoring company who brought me in and told me that was their training program.
Yeah.
Because I did not know that at 24 years old.
Right.
But I at least was introduced to the right company. And yes, when rates were 6.5%, I launched my career. When rates were 7%, I was funding 112 units that year. Right? When rates dropped to 6 to 5.5 to 3.5, I still had a great career. I still made a lot of money, still helped a lot of people.
It's not timing. It's time in the market.
Yeah, you know that from doing this show. But yes, I mean, that's what we tell our clients and our customers. Yeah. Like, look, it's not about time in the market, it's about time in the market.
It's so accurate.
Yes, you buy when you're ready. Things are a little bit odd out there, but the equities market are doing well. When I talk to my wealth advisor, and we're friends. Like, we were friends before he was my wealth advisor. So I can't imagine this guy's blowing smoke. Mm-hmm. But he's like, Dustin, there are no signs that make JP Morgan feel like the equities market is going to have this massive crash. He says corrections. He's like, we've had 2 or 3 corrections over the past 3 to 5 years. I mean, a correction is when you see a 10% dip in the market. But you may see that 10% dip, and within 3 months it rebounds. Within 6 months, it rebounds. So, overall, employment's doing well, stubbornly well, well. Inflation is stubbornly high. Some of that is induced by what's going on in Iran. And quite honestly, by the time this airs, we're going to have 17 tweets and 5 Fox News specials and 5 rebuttals on CNN and, 3 other economic events that make you feel like it's gone away. It's never going to get better. Like, I'm not holding my breath, right? I'm not holding my breath. And quite honestly, a lot of the damage has been done, and it's going to be hard to unwind that. So even if we do open the strait, even if there is a truce and a ceasefire and all that transpires, it's not going to be like an overnight sensation. Yeah. So I think what we all should prepare for is when it comes to interest rates, what we have is what we have. And build your business model and your forecasting and your marketing strategy around that.
What about like inventory right now? Like, have you been on top of it? And
so this is really cool.
Yeah.
This is really cool because this only happens several times throughout someone's career. Mm-hmm. Right now, it's abundantly clear and abundantly obvious that real estate is local. I mean, I remember learning this industry and being told when it comes to real estate, well, you know this, it's about location.
Location.
Yes. Location. Right now, when it comes to inventory, location.
Got it.
There's no inventory in the Northeast. There's no inventory in many parts of the Midwest. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a lot of inventory in Florida. There's a lot of inventory in Texas. A lot of inventory in Idaho. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of inventory in Las Vegas, Arizona, and potentially in parts of California. There's a lot of inventory in those markets. Markets that tend to boom during boom years, bust during bust years.
Yeah.
And we saw this in the collapse of 2008, 9, and 10. It's not that the entire country didn't feel it, But when Ohio and Iowa and Nebraska were down 10%, Florida was down 50.
Right.
Arizona was down 60. Nevada was down 70. Right? We used to call those places the sand states. Like, oh, you have exposure to the sand states? Watch out. Like any state that has a bunch of sand.
Yeah.
But those are also the markets that boomed.
Yeah.
Like right now, short-term rentals are not a hot topic. Right? That market right now boomed during COVID years. So now it's going to take the back seat, and it kind of needs to normalize. I'm not saying that buying a short-term rental is a bad idea, but what I am saying is that people who focused on that are focusing on other things right now because it's less of a hot market as things start to normalize and stabilize.
If you had to compare now to another time period, right, another stretch of a few years, 4 or 5 years, what kind of where are we sitting?
TLOP Unite is not your typical mortgage event. This is the first ever TLOP cruise experience built exclusively for originators. And for 4 days, it's not about the speakers, it's about you. We're talking breakout strategy sessions, real conversations, curated events, and uninterrupted access to a community that helps you grow. If you're serious about taking your career to the next level, this is where you need to be. Space is limited and the price is right. So click the link now and learn more.
In your eyes.
This is interesting because I entered this industry young, dumb, naive, and inexperienced in 2004, 2005. I started to be less dumb, less young, less inexperienced by 2006. And then we all know what happened in 7 and 8. And then coming up with 7 and 8, you had to rebuild in 9 and 10. And then by 11, we were in this market of it was just everything was rebuild, grow, rebuild, grow, rebuild, grow. I don't know if I've seen this in my time. Now, if I studied the industry, oh yeah, go back and look at 97, 98, and 99.
Yeah.
Like those were years of pretty
It just feels
flat home sales
That's
and
what I was
home
gonna say, it's
prices.
boring right now.
Rates were okay, but they weren't great. The reason why we had the big refi boom of 2001, 2, and 3 is September 11th happened in 2001. Terrible, tragic event. Put the country and the world into a deeper recession than it was already in. By the way, go back and study it. We were already heading towards a recession before 9/11 happened. 9/11 was just like, I mean, it was the fly swatter taking out the fly that had been stuck in the small cage and was eventually going to die of starvation and thirst. But but when that happened, then all of a sudden we saw bond prices go up, rates go down. And then we had a refi boom. So I would tell you this probably reminds people of 97, 98. 97, I was graduating high school. 98, I was a freshman at UCF.
Yeah.
So I didn't really get a chance to live that per se. But that's just kind of where the market was. Home prices weren't appreciating crazily. Homes were sitting on the market for a decent amount of time.
Right.
And I think what we see is we're going to see more of that. We're not going to see any less of what we're dealing with. Like I don't see the Northeast issues going away anytime soon. They have no more land. They're not building fast enough, and it's not like the people in the Northeast are like, oh, this place sucks. There's no jobs for me. Let me get out. So whether that's Boston, whether that's the greater Philadelphia, South Jersey area, whether that's Chicago, and then you're still going to have Austin's going to still struggle, Orlando's still going to have its issues, and probably places like Boise that really flourished. But here's the thing about Boise. It's still Boise. If you've ever been there, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's affordable. And Idaho has an amazing first-time home buyer state-sponsored down payment assistance program. So there's still going to be men and women who are graduating college and having babies and getting married who want to take advantage of this.
I think because it is so boring and it's kind of being driven at the federal level, do you think states, if this, like you said, kind of unseen, like uncharted territory, do the states come up with, aggressive programs that kind of boost the market nationwide? Like, could that maybe happen here in the near future? Example, Florida, like getting rid of the property sales tax or the property tax when you have a homestead on that property so you can't really do it on investment properties. That's like the big loophole or the big caveat to it. It has to be on the homestead with the homestead exemption. But like, do you think states are going to have more programs like that make we could see a surge in home buying?
They're going to be forced to. The problem is a surge in home buying. We don't have a demand issue. Plenty of people want to buy a house.
Yeah.
Plenty of people want to. The millennial generation is the largest new household formation generation since the baby boomers.
It's just not affordable because of the interest.
Correct. It's not affordable. You also have those people are growing up slower. They're getting married slower. They're starting families slower. Like, it's a big issue right now.
True.
The millennial generation waiting until they're in their mid-30s to start a family and then struggling to have a family.
Right.
I mean, there are a lot of ads right now, like meta ads, like programmatic marketing that you do.
Yeah.
That to certain sects, and I'm going to call it out. If you go to a Ivy League school and you are 25, 26, female, and you are in STEM, right? You're studying STEM. The programmatic marketers are already running ads to those types of professionals to freeze their eggs.
Yeah, there you go.
Freeze their
Yeah,
eggs. Because they know statistically these men and women, specifically the women, aren't going to be at a place where they're even ready to want to settle down and start a family until they're 35, 37, 39, at which biologically it has always been way more difficult with lower percentages
Is that a stock
of fertilization.
Tip? Is that a stock tip? Do you know any companies that you're invested in that are
look, I
freezing
like
the
where
eggs? Because that's great.
I like where your brain is going. I'm just talking about programmatic marketing.
Yeah, I know, but
I was out with friends having a conversation.
Yeah.
And those friends were sharing this story with
Great
me
observation.
about the ads that are showing up in certain people's lives.
Yeah.
Just because they know this is what's going on. So I'm not worried about there being housing demand. We don't have a demand issue. That's why
demand's there.
I'm anti any federal stimulation that makes it easier for someone to become a homeowner. And people are going to hate on me for that. Oh my gosh, you're not promoting homeownership. You're evil. You want to keep all the wealth to yourself. No, I'm realistic. What I'm saying is I want to have federal stimulation. It's to make people want to sell their freaking house. How do I get more people to want to sell their freaking houses? Whether it's the institutional investors who own a bunch of them, or whether it's the guy and girl who just inherited dad's house. This is a real home here in Orlando, Florida. It's listed for $650. If it were fixed up, it's worth $900. I wouldn't pay more than $500 for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, there's a chance that there's a tax liability that son and that daughter have to incur. So therefore, they're thinking, you know what? I need to sell it for this price to make it worth our while because I have a tax liability.
Yeah.
What happens if there was no tax liability? Even if it was only for 2 years. For 2 years, there's a reprieve on capital gains tax. What would happen? You would see more people put their homes on the market. I right now would sell my investment property like that. It's a 3, 2.5, 14, 1,500 square feet with a nice backyard and a good school district.
And cash out on the equity?
It would sell for about $350,000. Right now, I rent it. It kind of cash flows. It's not that big of a pain in my neck.
Yeah.
I have no reason to unload it, but I know that when I do unload it, I'm gonna have at least a $20,000 or $30,000 tax liability when I unload it. I bought the thing for $180. I'm gonna sell it for $350. Even when I net out my closing costs, right, and my realtor commissions, I'm still gonna have close to $175,000 profit on this property at a 15 to 20%, depending on your tax bracket. Let's just say 15% capital gains tax. I mean, what's 15% of $175,000? Roughly $25,000. But if the government said, "Hey, Dustin, if you sell all non-owner all your homes between 2027 and 2028, and we will eliminate any capital gains tax," what would that do?
Right.
I got a buddy of mine in California. He tomorrow would unload his property and move to North Carolina.
Absolutely.
But he has $500,000 of equity. Right now, the law and the rule only exempts $250,000. So he's going to have a massive taxable event. So it's not that I don't want to help first-time home buyers, because first-time home buyers need all the help they can get. But I think we make homeownership more affordable by putting more inventory, more good inventory on the market. So if I'm an originator, what am I doing right now? Right now I'm hearing these messages. I'm understanding these messages. I'm relaying these messages. And I'm getting to work.
You're staying the course.
I'm staying the course. I'm doubling down on what's working. I'm studying what's trending, so I can also start incorporating that into my business.
Yeah.
And I'm eliminating anything that's been wasting my time, effort, and my energy.
Yeah.
Same thing I do year in, year out. Like nothing changes if nothing changes. I'm going to make my small changes, but I'm not anticipating the market to come save me. And I'm not anticipating the market to really go up a whole lot. Like in many markets, I'll use my market as an example. Here's another reason why I'd sell my rental property. Don't think the value is going to go up a whole lot. Like I don't. In Orlando, Florida, over the next 2 to 5 years, I don't see my property going from worth $350 to $450. It may go from $350 down to $342, back up to $349 to $357. Maybe it stays at $357 a year, then eventually gets to $363. Again, if I was holding this thing long term, awesome. I'm paying down that principal.
Yeah.
I'm gaining equity. But as an investor who's owned this property for 15 going on 20 years, I'll just unload it.
Right.
But I would unload it quicker if the government stepped in and had some kind of a program. Now, the government is stepping in. We're going to hear a bunch of news coming out lately about the legislation coming out regarding massive bill being approved in the House and the Senate that is pro home affordability.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's the truth on all of this without doing, we'll do a whole episode on it, but it's going to take 2 to 3 years for that to start really penetrating the market. And what you were saying earlier, Mike, it comes down to the local market. So locally, the federal government can't make the city of Winter Park make development easier.
Right.
And the citizens who live in Winter Park get to vote on city ordinances and county ordinances that some people say yes in my backyard, YIMBY. Some people say no in my backyard, NIMBY. And all the federal government do is can encourage states through financial reprieve or maybe even financial, like what is that? Oh, he's saying penalty, but penalties.
Yeah.
That would promote making development cheaper, making development easier.
Yeah.
But I don't see there being some big federal rescue to make homeownership more affordable, but more inventory would make it more accessible. And honestly, if you flooded the market with inventory, it would drop prices down.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, supply and demand then comes into play.
Yeah. Real estate 101. Yep.
Yeah. But, in terms of what do we predict? I mean, I think I just said it. I think more of the same. That is the mid-year review is the second half of 2026 will look just like the last 3 months.
Yeah.
It'll look like the last 3 months. This is not a woe is me moment. This is not a sky is falling moment. It's for the most part, the market's pretty stabilized. It's really not going anywhere fast. And it's a little bit unpredictable, but at the same time, it's pretty predictable.
If you're a licensed originator who's closing loans, but you're not consistent, this is for you. If you're brand new or just looking for motivation, trust me, this is not for you. Most LOs don't need more information. They need structure. They need proven processes and somebody to hold them accountable. T-Lob's Originator Coaching gives you weekly live coaching, scripts top producers actually use, and step-by-step business systems you can implement immediately. Not someday, we're talking day one. You're not watching videos alone. You're executing in real time with other originators who take this seriously. Right now, you can try it free for 2 weeks. That's 2 full weeks for free. You'll sit in on live coaching calls. You'll get access to the frameworks and see exactly how top producers run their business. If it creates clarity, if it creates momentum, or even if it puts wins on the board, you keep going. If it doesn't, no worries, you can cancel. No pressure at all. Click the link, start the 2-week trial, and finally, build this like a business, not a side hustle.
So get more realtors into your referral network, right?
Yes.
Have a wider net of referral sources.
Yeah.
And win on volume, get that bottom line up.
Yeah. Yes. And
go.
Next year, more of the same.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yep.
when you're planning on ending the year strong, you have to ask yourself, do you have a marketing strategy you're deploying? Are you systematized? Does your business run you, or do you run your business? How many leads are you generating? Where are they coming from?
Yeah.
How much money are you investing to get those leads in the door?
Yeah.
What's your conversion? What do you call? What's your cost to convert that? And then what's that converted client worth to you over the next 3, 5, or 7 years? And then how do you make them more valuable to you? Because there's marketing strategies that guys like us can teach people on how to make that client way more valuable over a lifetime than maybe what they're currently getting out of them. Realtors are and still will be your number one referral source. I'm not saying they'll be 80% of your business. They may only be 40%, right? You may leverage financial advisors, your past client database. AI is really here, and it's really a tool that you really have to embrace and use. But for most of us, man, how do I say this politely? Be a fast follower and an early adopter.
Yeah.
Use AI to make you better. Worry less about AI replacing you. If it does, it does, but you won't control whether it does or doesn't. And I wouldn't be the guy or girl that's out trying to make AI replace me. I'm the guy or the girl that's using AI to make me irreplaceable.
Absolutely.
And continue to do that. And it's such a evolving front. I almost hate talking about it. I think some of us are fatigued. And I think others, it's like by the time this airs, something else would have changed.
Well, interesting AI fact real quick, because I know we're going to probably wrap this up. There are a lot of workplaces, like a lot of corporate entities that invested a ton of money in AI and reduced their workforce, right? And the trade-off was it was cheaper to use AI than to have a broad workforce. Well, now there's reports coming out. These same companies, the cost of running the AI, and I predicted this about a year and a half ago.
Was it recorded?
Yeah,
If it wasn't recorded, it didn't happen. Mike.
I know, dude, and I'm so annoyed by it. But I literally got into an argument with a buddy about it. I was like, AI is going to get expensive. You just watch. It's a bait and switch, just like meta ads and all that. Like organic content used to get traction. Now it doesn't. You have to pay to play. Same thing with AI. So these workforces are now having to hire
People back.
employees back.
Yeah.
So it's incredible. But
Yeah, I have a presentation I did 2 years ago that I said in my prediction, the world in the future is people using you and expecting you to have a really cool robot. But it's still people choosing you. Now, they want you to have that robot, and they're cool talking to that robot or that machine or that app or that tool.
Did you
But
see,
it's still you.
Did you see Jeff Bezos on the same topic mentioned they will be prioritizing water to cool these AI servers over human consumption in the near future?
Who's they?
Bezos,
Amazon?
Yeah,
AWS?
Amazon. Any data like AI driven that has servers that need to be cooled. They're saying
I mean, that's a concern.
they're saying that it takes so much water to cool these servers that eventually they have to prioritize the servers because we're using AI and adopting AI to run the world.
Well, why do they got to use drinking water? Use the GD Ocean.
And that's what they're talking about. They're talking about having the submerged data centers in the ocean. China, I guess, is already on it. So,
well, it's funny. When I was out in Palo Alto with the guys at Pylon, right? I don't know if it was Trent who said it or if it was Brett who said it, or maybe when Trent's chief of staff is a badass too. But anyhow, I brought that up. I'm like, hey, any concern coming out of Silicon Valley, like all of these servers that we're using for AI and the resources, the consumption, the energy, the water? And they literally said, and I don't know if this was tongue in cheek or if it was like dead ass serious, but they were like, oh, don't worry. Elon's going to have that up in space in no time.
On the moon.
And literally space is going to cool as well as power
it's space and the moon. That is the plan. And NASA actually has an initiative to have servers.
Well, look, I don't have NASA stock, Mike, but
Bro,
I
I
do got
was
me
like,
some SpaceX stock.
Man, we went on a rabbit hole there, but I had to say it.
But this is a 2026 mid-year review, and I told you we're going to look out into the future.
Yeah.
This is looking out into the future. But for everybody else, I mean, look, embrace the now.
Yeah.
Embrace it. There's a lot of great opportunities out here. I mean, I got so many friends in this industry that are building, growing, making millions
Crushing
of dollars.
Yes.
The business is there. The woe is me, man. That shit ended in 2024.
Yeah.
And those that are left are getting after it. And many new people are coming into the business. I mean, we're graduating 7 to 10 new people from our launch boot camp every 6 weeks right now.
Amazing.
Like that's new people we're putting in equipped with all of the knowledge and skill set to become their company's next top producer.
Yep.
And we're just getting started because I'm doing it for entire organization. Shout out to Mid-Florida Credit Union.
Yes.
Shout out to CMG.
Yes.
Right? And Future, maybe some Milestone, maybe some Barrett Financial.
Yeah.
Right? Would love to help out the companies like AnnieMac out there. I mean, there's a lot of companies out there that we could do this for. And I'm telling y'all who are listening, there's a lot of people out there that want to do what you're doing at a high level, and they're willing to get after it regardless of what the market gives them because they don't know any better. They don't know any different. That's my last piece of advice. You don't need to know any better, any different. What you got is what you got. What was that saying? You get what you get and you don't pitch a fit.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we teach the kindergartners.
Yep. Stay the course.
Yeah, you get what you get and you don't pitch a fit. It's a great time to go make a bunch of money. It's a great time to go help a bunch of people, and that's your real opportunity. Y'all, thanks for coming by to hang out with us. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, make sure you give this show a 5-star review. It helps remind everybody else that this content doesn't suck and that they too should be tuning in. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. YouTube is an amazing tool for us, not just so you can watch the watch the podcast. It's so that you can also consume 400 plus other pieces of content, whether it's Coach's Corner or Talk Mortgage to Me or Mortgage School, etc., etc. If you want more about coaching or more about this cruise we keep talking about, meaning like we won't shut up about it, go to our website. It's tloponline.com, TLOPonline.com. Click on the Unite button to learn about the cruise. Click on coaching to get your free 14-day trial. And get busy in the comment section. That's where we like to have fun with you and engage back and forth. She's Karina. He's Mike. I'm Dustin. You've just tuned into the Loan Officer Podcast. That's all the time we have for you today. But we do look forward to catching you on the next episode. Peace.